Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. This video I'd like to show you how to make the shawl that you've purchased when you've bought the shawl box from me. I'll take you step by step through everything that makes this shawl. Let's just quickly look at what exactly is in your kit. So what's exactly in the kit? Well, in the kit you'll find first of all the pattern booklet. You'll notice that it's available in English and on the other side it's available in Dutch, but you of course only need one of the two sides. And in here you'll find the pattern, the written pattern, and also a nice recipe. And what else is in your kit? You'll of course have your yarn. You'll have 4 balls of Scheepje stone washed yarn, and then you also have a few extra things. You'll have a stitch marker by Happy Kiwi. You could have a different one than this one, but it's a very nice cute little stitch marker, and I really suggest supporting her shop if you'd like a few more. So you'll find a stitch marker. You'll also find a shawl pin. This is a pin. You could have a different one in your kit, and this is to wear your shawl with when you're finished, and also a small amount of eucalyptus so that you can soak your shawl when it's finished and really make the fabric nice and soft. So this is everything that's in your kit. Let's get started. Just a tip before we start. The shawl consists of 2 parts. So it's a base and a lacy border, and the amount of yarn for both is the same. So you could easily exchange the 2 colors if you want. So for example here the lighter color has been used for the base and the darker color for the border, but if you want, you do it the other way around. So you can do it in this order or in that order. So whichever color A or B you want at which place, that's absolutely up to you. And it can also give you a way to just tailor the shawl to have the colors the way you want them. So I'm going to start with the base, and then after that we'll make the border. Row 1 of the base, I'm going to start with a slip knot and put the slip knot on my hook, a 4mm hook. I'm going to start with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then come back, and in the first stitch, this very first one here, make a double crochet. So in the first chain you made, make a double crochet. A chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and now in the same spaces where you made this double crochet, make a V stitch. That's going to be a double, chain 1, and a double. So in that stitch, make a double, chain 1, and another double in that same position. So if you look at it like this, you can see here you have a V stitch, the chain 3, and another V stitch. Turn your work for row 2. Row 2, we're going to start with the beginning V stitch. That's a chain 4 to start. 2, 3, 4. And then here in the first stitch, if you just open that up, that's the first stitch. You make another double crochet in there. So the chain 3 counts like a double, and then it's a chain 1 and another double crochet. Chain 1, you always have chain 1s between the V stitches. We come to the chain 3 space here at the top. That's your corner. We're going to make a new corner in there. So V stitch, chain 3, and a V stitch. So that's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the chain 3 space. That's your first V stitch, then chain 3, corner, that's then going to make a new corner, and then another V-stitch in the same space. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1 before you come to your last V-stitch of the row. Here you see the starting V-stitch. You have the double crochet and then the chain 4. Again, it's going to be the third chain is the double crochet, so I'm going to work in the third chain starting from the center outward, or you can also count back, because I sometimes count back, because here's the double crochet, then that's the chain 1, and then I take the next stitch, and then in there work at V-stitch, so that's a double, chain 1, and a double. Just turn my work. This is what it looks like at the end of row 2. So for row 3, I'm going to turn your work again, and we start again with a beginning V-stitch. So it's chain 4, 3, 4, and then here in the first stitch, again if you open it up a little bit there, insert your hook and work a double. We're now going to come to the V-stitch, the opening that's between the V-stitches, the chain 1. So first we make a chain 1, and then here in this chain 1 space work a V-stitch. That's a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Again, chain 1, and come to the corner, and here you work a corner stitch. So it's a V-stitch, chain 3, and a V-stitch, chain 1 and a double, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and again a double, chain 1 and a double. Now going to come down and repeat what we did on this side. So it's chain 1, come to the next space, chain 1 space between V-stitches. So here's the V-stitch, you're going to skip that V-stitch and come to the chain 1 space in between. It's going to be a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet, then chain 1, and here on the starting V-stitch, again in the third chain, work a V-stitch. So here's a double, that's the first chain, and then this here will be the third one if you count from the bottom up. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. That's row 3. Row 4, we're again going to start with a beginning V-stitch. This will always be the same. 4, chain 4, and then in that first stitch work a double crochet. So the beginning will always be the same. Then chain 1, and come to the space here between the first and the second V-stitch and work a V-stitch in there. So that's a double, chain 1, and a double, chain 1, and come to the next space and work a V-stitch. It's important to work between the V-stitches and not in them. Chain 1, and now you're at the corner here, and there we work a corner again. So it's a double crochet, chain 1 and a double to make the V-stitch, chain 3, that's your new corner, and then again a V-stitch. So a double, chain 1, and a double. Chain 1 and come down and work in the chain space. Is going to do this twice, a V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and again chain 1. Remember, always a chain 1 between the V's, and then here another V, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and now you're at the starting point again. So here's the starting V. So that's a double crochet, the chain 1 you're going to skip, and then come to the next chain, and then there work a V, chain 1, and a double crochet, and that was row 4. Row 5 of the base, again a beginning V-stitch. Let me just first turn. 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, and in that first stitch a double crochet, chain 1, and now in this next space between the V stitches work a V stitch, chain 1 and a V stitch, and I'm going to do this 3 times now. That's 1, chain 1, come to the next space, V stitch, chain 1, and a third time here in the next space, V stitch, chain 1, and now you're at the corner. Here's again a V stitch, chain 3, and a V stitch. V stitch, chain 3, and a V stitch. And now we're going to do the same down as we did up. So that means again chain 1 and the V stitch in the chain space 3 times. I'm going to skip the first V and come here to the space. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip the next V, and in the space double crochet, chain 1, double crochet as the next V, chain 1, come to the next space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. One more chain, and then we work a V stitch here in the starting stitches again. So that's the double, here's the chain 1 that you're going to skip, and then we come to the next chain and work a V stitch in there. So double, chain 1, and a double, and then that's row 5. Row 6 and row 7 and every next row of the base is the same stitch pattern. What you're always going to be doing is you're going to be starting with a beginning V stitch, then chain 1s, and in every chain space, if I rotate it like this, then in every chain space you work a V stitch with chain 1s in between. When you get to the corner, it's again a new corner, so V stitch, chain 3, V stitch, and then again you come down and do the same. So in every space you work a V stitch with chain 1s in between, and then you're finished on this starting V stitch. And this you're going to repeat again and again and again until you have 31 rows. If you want to make your shawl larger, simply repeat the number of rows that you're making on the base. You can also repeat the number of rows that you're making on the shawl, on the border of the shawl, but you will need more yarn. So either way, repeat this row, the next row. So that's row 6, row 5, depending on how you look at it, but this is the same pattern. So in the chain spaces, you work V-stitches, chain 1s in between, and in the corner it's a new corner stitch, so a V-stitch, chain 3, and a V-stitch. Repeat this until you have at least 31 rows. When you've done all the repeats, this is your shawl. You see it halfway, quite a lot of rows. I have 31 rows here. This is also a different colorway, and now we're ready to do the border on this on the next edges. So when you have 31 rows, you're ready for the border. Row 1 of the border. So I have now the second color yarn, and I'm just going to make a slip knot because I want to start with a standing stitch. There you go. Now this is also where I finished. So you see here I fastened off the yarn. That's also where I'm going to start the next row. If you look at the stitch where we finished, here's the last V-stitch. I'm going to come to the first single crochet, also the first double crochet of that V-stitch. I'm going to work a standing single crochet in that stitch. I'm just going to zoom in just a little more that you can just see a little bit better. So in that first V-stitch, in this first double crochet of the V-stitch, work a standing single crochet. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I come to the space between the V-stitches. You see that's the chain space there. Work a single crochet in that space. Again, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come to the space between the next two V-stitches and work a single crochet in there. And we're going to repeat this until we're to the corner, to that chain 3 corner space. So again, chain 5, 3, 4, 5, and then in the next space between the V-stitches work a single crochet. So repeat this. So I'm going to make all these little loops. Repeat this until you're to the chain 3 corner space, and I'll see you back. I'm now almost to the chain 3 corner space. See here I have all these loops and the single crochets in between. Now we're going to make the new corner. That's again going to be a chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in the chain 3 corner space work a single crochet, a chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another single crochet, and again chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's to come back down again. This chain 5 space here, I'm just going to mark this chain 5 with a stitch marker. The reason is that on the next rows, this is the corner, and with all these chain 5 spaces, it's insanely easy to miss the corner, that you just continue working. So this is to mark the corner, that you don't go autopilot. Now the next edge, we're just going to come down and do the same idea. So a single crochet here in the space between V stitches, and chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the next space a single crochet, and repeat this until you're to the last space. So then you'll be at the edge. 2, 3, 4, 5, and a single crochet, and again chain 5, and repeat until you're to the end. So I'll make it jump in the video again until you're to the end of this edge. We're almost at the end of the row. You see, here's the beginning V-stitch of the base, and I've just made the single crochet in that last opening between the last 2 V-stitches. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here in the third chain, so work a single crochet. So here's a double crochet, chain 1, and then the single crochet, or the chain 1 just next to it, work the single. And this is the same as if we were to work a V-stitch in there. Single crochet in that last V-stitch, and then you can turn your work for the next row. Row 2 of the border. See, I'm currently in there in that single crochet. I'm going to work a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come to the first chain space, that's this space here, and work a single crochet in here. Single crochet in there. Chain 5 and a single crochet in the next chain space until you get to the corner, and that will be the marked stitch, the marked chain 5 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and single crochet in the space. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a single crochet in the space. Now repeat this until you're at the loop just before the marked stitch. You see, I've made all of these loops, and here I'm at the marked stitch. Now you see why the marked stitch really is handy, because it just prevents you from missing that this is the corner. Because we're now going to make a new corner in the chain 5 space here. I'm just going to remove the stitch marker, and we're going to put it back in a moment. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come to the chain space, work a single crochet in there. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a single crochet in the same chain space. So, and then this here is your new corner, and again just hook up the stitch marker in that chain 5 space, and then chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to come down and do exactly the same as we did here. So in all the chain spaces, work a single crochet with chain 5s in between. So single crochet in this space here. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a single crochet in the next space. Again, repeat this until you're almost to the end, so until you're to the last 2 chain 5 spaces. I'll see you at the end of this row. So again, chain 5, single crochet in the chain space until you're to the end. I'm almost to the end of the row. See, there's that single crochet we started with. So I just need one more chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then work a single crochet here in the last chain space. Again, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then work a single crochet in this very first single crochet, the one we started with. So in there, work a single crochet, and then turn your work for the next row. Row 3 of the border, we're going to start with a chain 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. just have the other side facing. So chain 5, and then in the first chain space, this one here, work a single crochet. And now it's not necessary, but it might be a good idea to just mark this chain 5 space as well, because this is your last chain 5 space of the edge. Because at a certain point you're going to have all these chain 5s here at the end, and they're going to start looking alike. So again, this will just be your last chain 5 space, or the first one of this edge. So that's just to mark that space. You don't need to, but it might make life easier for you. And then again, chain 5 and a single crochet in the next space. And again, repeat this until you're to the marked corner space, and then we'll work a new corner. So chain 5 and single crochet in the next chain space. The corner space again, so just like before. Now we're going to work the same corner. Just going to remove the stitch marker. So it's again chain 5. Then in that marked stitch, a single crochet, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another single crochet in the same space, and then this becomes your new corner, that new space, and again chain 5, 4, 5, and now we're going to work along this edge and do the same in every chain space. A single crochet and chain 5 and a single crochet in the next space, and continue with this until you're to the end. So again, chain 5, single crochet in the chain space, so chain 5, single crochet in the space until you're to the end of the row. I'm almost to the end of the edge. I have here one chain 5 space left from the, this is the last chain 5 space. I'm going to work chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then work a single crochet in this chain 5 space. And then this is the end of row 3. So the next rows of the border, rows 4, 5, 6, etc., is a repetition of row 3. So that means you're going to start with a chain 5, and then here in the chain in this chain space work a single crochet. And again, mark that chain space if you want to, just like here at the end, because all these chain spaces are going to start looking alike. And when you come to the end of row 4, this will be the space in which you work your last single crochet. And again, also keep on marking, especially this corner stitch. Where is it? Here. Keep marking this corner stitch, because this one is amazingly easy to forget when you're working your rows. So repeat row 3 basically until you get either to the end of your yarn, or if you want to extend it further, even add a third or a fourth ball of yarn if you want to make the border larger. But keep on repeating row 3.